Over the next couple of videos, we're going to talk to you about the concepts of tags and layers. Now, if we take a look at any given object in our view, now I've just selected our camp prefab object here. At the very top of the inspector, we have a potential tag. Currently, this is an untagged object, and we have a layer. Now, these two settings have two very different purposes. And really, so far, while we've been working on this level and demonstrating all this stuff, we haven't really had much of a reason to utilize tags. What a tag is kind of a secondary name or an alias that you can apply to objects in your scene to make it easier to call on them via scripts. So you could take several different objects in your scene, say all of your lights, or maybe some specific lights. Let's just say you've got like a city scene, all right? And you're walking down your city street, or your player can walk down a city street, and all of your street lights, the actual light objects that are illuminating that street, you could give the tag street lights.
Right.
Then later on in code, you could call on the street lights tag and perform some sort of operation and change. Maybe turn those lights out, maybe change their color using that script.
Right, exactly. What we could do is, in our script, we could do a call that goes find all objects, and it'll return a list of every object that's in your scene. You can then do a conditional check against that tag and go, all right, what one are my street lights? And then I could turn all those lights off or dim them. And you could use it as an effect. You could also use it as a trigger as far as a game puzzle. Let's say you have a switch that is on the wall and you want a door or several doors to open. You could set up all these doors on a tag that when you push that button, it's going to look for all the objects that are of that tag and trigger those to run a certain animation.
That's right. And in an upcoming video, we'll show you how you can manage these tags, how you can associate these tags with certain objects. But we're not really going to be able to get into really utilizing these tags because that's more of a scripting-based topic. Now, at the same time, we've also got layers. Now, layers are very similar, at least on the surface, to tags, because you can select an object and you can assign it a layer as well as a tag, but layers have a different purpose. They're not here for scripting at all. They can be used for an organizational purpose. You can take all of the objects in your scene or of a certain type, and you can give them a specific layer to be under, and it's kind of like layers in Photoshop.
Well, actually, you can use them in scripts as well.
You can, but I'm trying to find a way to differentiate them without saying that they're exactly alike.
Well, the difference between them is the fact that you have a limited number of layers.
That's right. You have 32 layers.
Right, and they're actually used as a mask.
As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and bring up the tag manager, which shows us all our layers. I'm just going to go under Edit, jump over to Project Settings, and click on Tags. And here's our tag manager. And here we can see all of our layers. So here's built-in layer 0 all the way down to user layer 31. And we only get 32 of those. And we'll talk more about that in an upcoming video. But I do want to at least have that showing while we talk.
But they're definitely, they're used as mask, as a mask on what is allowed to be used or what isn't allowed. Think of them as little flags. If a flag is set to 1, you can do an action on it. If it's flagged as 0, you can't. And you're using them to do a conditional on whether or not that layer is going to do something or not do something.
That's right. And we'll talk more about those in the upcoming video. So with that, let's go ahead and get started and take a look at tags and how we can create and associate tags in our levels.